Can you confirm those for me, please? Okay, and so let me get some comments in here as well. So counseling Monica, spouse will need to call in. Okay, and your purpose or reason for taking the course. Okay, so alright, so you're considering a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Alright, and as required, I will need to do an analysis of the information provided, give you options, action plans, goals, and priorities to consider. For the benefit of the counseling session, I am required to put together counseling notes that I will email you as well. And before you considered bankruptcy, what other options did you look at or consider? Okay, all right, let's take a look here. Okay, and do you have steady income? Okay, steady income. Sure. Well, let's take a look at step one. Okay, so, all right, so you had a loss of income was your financial setback. And, okay, loss of income and steady income. Sure. Sure. Okay. All right, and you're a two-income household? Okay, so steady income now, two-income household. Are you currently following a budget? Okay, so using your budget, good. And let's double check your liabilities, step number 2. So I see we have the mortgage, we have the auto loans, and credit card debts. Are you putting the house and the cars into the bankruptcy, the Chapter 13? Okay, so house and cars going into 13, into the BK. Okay, and we also have, let's get back here, we have the credit card debts. Okay, so house, and what's the status of the student loans? They're in repayment, default, deferment? Okay, so they're in repayment. Okay, do you have any wage garnishments or judgments? Okay, so no garnishments, judgments. Are any of these debts in collections? Okay, the debts are current. Okay, are you trying to save the house is why you're filing it? Okay. Alright. Okay, so you're trying to save the house. How many months behind are you on the house payments? Okay, so what, about 8 months? 8, 9 months? Okay, so 9 months behind. Okay, and so the first action plan I recommend for you is to check all credit reports, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can get those for free, as we'll put in our notes and comments that I'm putting together for you, at least once every 12 months at annualcreditreport.com. That's the only official website to get free credit reports from. You are checking those for accuracy, name, spelling, social security number, current and previous addresses, all the details. Make sure you haven't been a victim of fraud or identity theft. The credit reports are a key component for you to recover from a financial setback, as they are a reflection of your personal characteristics and character traits per the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So it gives you a good understanding of their importance. Do maintain and hang on to those for many years in case you need to verify or validate accounts in the future as well. Now, when you went through our course, well, a Chapter 13 may report on your credit reports anywhere from 7 to 10 years. The courts will assign a local court-appointed trustee, and 7 to 10 years, it all depends on if you complete the Chapter 13. If you fall out of the program or it's dismissed, then it may report on your credit reports for up to 10 years. And the courts do assign a local court-appointed trustee who is a fiduciary who will oversee your bankruptcy. They will structure a payment plan to your creditors, use a high percentage of your disposable income to meet the terms of the agreement. We always recommend reviewing all the documents and statements from the courts. Make sure that there are no errors or mistakes. You don't want a surprise dismissal of your bankruptcy because information was missed or overlooked as well. Now, I do see step 3 is our debt-to-income ratio. We see your gross monthly pay is at $5,000, and we see that we have the mortgage is at $2,600, car loans, credit card debts. Your debt-to-income ratio right now is at 76%. So that gives you and us a good indication of your financial distress. Your goal for that ratio is to get down to around 32%. That way you can start living your life in financial balance and achieving financial goals. For your benefit, that formula is free on the website. That allows you to do an analysis at any time now or in the future before you decide to take out any more car loans, personal loans, bank loans. That way you would be fully aware before you put yourself into unmanageable debts. And also that way you're not relying solely on salespeople and their formulas, which may be skewed to their benefit as well. Now, also on our website we have a free finance book and we have a free budget book and our free budgeting sheets. These are excellent resources for your benefit to learn more and pick up more tips about personal finances as you go as well. Let's take a look here at step 4, debt payments to disposable income ratio based on your net take home. So you put your net take home is at $46.63, so not a lot coming out for taxes, is that correct? Okay, all right, and are you 1099 or? Okay, all right, well if you're W-2 and your gross is $5,000, that would put your net closer to around $3,400 a month. So you got to have more than $400 coming out in taxes. Well, what's your actual monthly net? No. What's your monthly net take home in the household? Okay, you put $46.63. So if that's correct for your monthly net take home, then that's going to put your gross at easily around $6,000. Does that sound about right? Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll go back and I'm going to edit step number 3. We'll put 6,000 in there because that's going to be more accurate, and that'll drop that debt-to-income ratio down to 63%. I just want to have accuracy in here in case you're audited. We do get audited occasionally by the federal government, and so we'll get that in there correct as well. Okay, so now step 4, that ratio came in at 25% for the debt payments to disposable income ratio, and your goal is to be down around 12 to 15%. So again, we are showing financial distress based on that formula as well. When you file a bankruptcy, according to Fair Isaac, they design the credit scores. They do tell us that your credit scores may drop 150 to 250 points. So it gives you a good indication of what may happen to your credit scores when you file a bankruptcy. In theory, while you're in Chapter 13, your credit score should slowly be rebuilding while you get your house payments caught up and you maintain your car payments caught up as well. It may take 3 years or longer to rebuild credit scores, but they will slowly rebuild in a Chapter 13 as well. Now, I am required to build a financial plan for you, and that's by putting together a written budget. For your benefit, on our website we have several forms of budgeting. We have an interactive budget, and as well we have a printed version. They both work great to help you structure a financial plan going forward. Right now you could finish your December budget, or you could do a weekly budget. Whatever works best for you, stick to a plan that you find is workable and it's usable, and you will repeat the process. And so make it easy. Our budget sheet is one sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. It doesn't get much easier than that. And we always recommend tracking your flexible expenses. Things like groceries, entertainment, spending, clothing. And you can use your smartphone, you can use a notepad. If you're good with numbers, you can do it in your head. Again, find a system that works for you, make it easy and repeatable, and that's how you're going to succeed in the long run. So let's put together a plan for you. I will let you know, in a Chapter 13, I build a goal budget for you. So I'm building a future goal budget to help you succeed with your finances the rest of your life. The reason I do that is because a trustee has their own agenda. Their agenda is to work with your creditors, get your debts caught up and current. My goal is to build a financial plan, like I said, to help you succeed the rest of your life. And so my goals you may not be able to implement till you're done with the bankruptcy. So let's see what we have here. So the net take home is $46.63. We have the mortgage, insurance. You won't have car payments in this budget because your cars will be paid off when the Chapter 13 is over. Right, okay, so we have groceries at $400, cell phone, all your flexible expenses. Let's get down here. I put $100 for entertainment. We'll put $100 for spending. As a starting at the baseline budget, we can adjust those later. We got to hit some key priorities for you that I think are missing. The next thing I want to talk about is your future goals, and we need to protect your income. So you're a two-income household. If you lost one of your incomes, how long would you survive financially? Well, the way you're set up right now, not very long. You have a big mortgage payment, so you're not going to survive very long if you lost one of those incomes. I always say let's focus on a key priority. And the number one priority I focus on is insuring your income. Well, you can insure your house, your car, your life. You can even insure your pets. But you can't, as far as I know, buy an income insurance policy. But it's one of the most important things you want to insure, right? Your income? Sure it is. Okay, so from the age of 16 to 65, those are your wealth accumulating years. That's 50 years. During that wealth accumulating years, you will need an emergency fund 10 to 20 times. Without a proper emergency fund, in essence, you're a walking bankruptcy. 9 times out of 10, the emergency fund is needed and used for a loss of income. I always set the goal based on income to get up to 6 months gross income. Okay, I just round yours down for an easy number, say $35,000 as a 7-year goal, and that would be saving right at $420 per month. Well, right now our budget won't let us throw that much into your emergency fund. Okay, so I'm probably going to start out as a baseline. I'll put in $150. Now, this gets us started. So where do we want to put this emergency fund? Again, if you're not putting a dime into an emergency fund, you should not be putting a dime into your retirement. Your emergency fund is a higher priority than your retirement account. Your retirement account does not protect your family's finances. Your retirement account protects you when you're old and you decide to retire. It provides you income. But during your wealth accumulating years, those 50 years, that retirement account does nothing for you other than give you a few tax breaks. That's it. If you liquidate that 401k or your IRAs early, the penalties are severe and you're only going to get about 60% of that money. If you pull out loans from your retirement, those loans then damage your monthly budget spending plan. The emergency fund is how you protect your family's finances. Number one priority. Okay? So we'd put that money into a high interest savings account. You want your emergency money to be FDIC insured, accruing the highest interest rate it can. Right now the online savings accounts, the virtual banks, are the largest savings accounts in the world. They're paying at or above 1% annual yield with no minimums, no fees, and they link to your checking account. So they're beating the money market accounts and they're beating the brick and mortar banks. Brick and mortar banks don't pay that and they charge fees for their savings accounts. Okay? So this is a good option to consider. Okay? That's correct. They've been around for a long time. Okay? And they're paying at or above 1% annual yield, which is much higher interest rate than the brick and mortar banks are paying. And these banks, some of the banks are several hundred years old. And they've been around for a long time and they're FDIC insured. They're federally insured. Okay? And that's a good option to consider for your emergency fund. So now your money's federally insured, it's accruing good interest, and it's safe. And so that's where you'd put your money, and it's totally liquid because it links to your checking account. So now we got your income being protected. The next thing we want to protect is your budget. So your monthly budget, the month your budget just has issues. You have certifications, registrations, licensing that you forgot about. You forgot to pay a bill the month before, you get an extra bill. Well, how do you cover that? Well, that's what the revolving savings account is. So now we have a second savings account. This is your passbook savings account linked to your checking account. Okay, we're going to use that savings account that sits there and you don't ever use it because it doesn't pay any interest and it has a fee to it. So now we're going to call that a revolving savings account, and the goal is to keep around 20% of your monthly gross income in that. So for your household, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. Ideally, we'd like to put a couple hundred in there, but right now we can just squeeze in 150. Your mortgage payment's pretty high, and I think you already know that. Your mortgage payment's pretty high for your income, so that's kind of disrupting the budget right now. Sure. Well, it'll make a big difference. It will. But we still want to put into the emergency fund revolving savings account. Now, so we have your income being insured with the emergency fund, and we're protecting your monthly budget with the revolving savings account. These are two key priorities. The next thing I want to talk about is your cars. We want to stop financing cars. Never finance again. Okay? Here's what your plan is. It's a simple strategy. Once your car is paid off, the goal is to drive that car as long as you can. So let's say you can get 6 years out of that car. After it's paid off, you drive it for 6 more years. During that period of time, we're going to make payments to ourselves. We're going to save $250 per month. Okay? And that will give you $18,000 in cash, plus your trade-in to get a brand new car. If you save $300 per month, it'd give you almost $22,000. Say the goal is to have title in hand. So that way if you have an income interruption, no one's taking your car from you for lack of payment. That strategy will also save you thousands of dollars in not making interest payments and finance fees on car loans. And if you lose your job, you don't have to waste your emergency money on making car payments as well. And if you do that strategy the rest of your life, it will save you thousands of dollars. So say the next new car you buy, and let's say you drive that next new car for, you drive it for 8 years. And let's say you save $250 a month, that would give you $24,000 in cash. If you save $300, that would give you almost $29,000 in cash to buy another new car. Again, it's an easy strategy. You just got to look ahead to see where you want to be. Okay? Right. Right. So we have a basic budget put together right now, and I couldn't put the car payments into your budget, but I told you about the strategy. I'll leave the emergency fund where it's at and the revolving savings account as these are goals and options to consider. I'll email this budget out for you. But this is all to scale. Once you make more money and or lower the mortgage payment, you can increase the emergency fund and the revolving account as well. Okay? That's how you protect yourselves. So I'll get this out for you right away with your certificate, notes and comments on your budget, and we'll get that out to you, and your attorney should be there in a few minutes. Any questions for me? Good. And it's all in our books. Yeah, no, you guys will be great. Yeah. Right. I'll email this out to you and to your attorney as well. Well, I'm not allowed to make referrals, but you can Google those, just high interest savings accounts. You can find those. There's a couple of websites at ratebrain.com is one. Also bankrate.com, which is a very popular website. Bankrate.com. They also list high interest savings accounts. So you can find those there. And you'll see them. They're very recognizable financial institutions, and you'll see they're FDIC insured, and it'll post their interest rates as well. Yeah, that's one of them, and then ratebrain.com as well. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, good luck. Have a great day. Okay. Bye-bye.